Hi gang, good afternoon and happy weekend to all of you. I am Philia, your MC for today's event. Welcome to the second sharing session about why studying abroad. This is an event of the Department of Chemistry, Universitas Indonesia that is organized by Bioinformatics Research Group under the supervision of Professor Usman Sumofran Tambunan. The first part of this sharing session was conducted like 2 weeks ago, and we invited two speakers that have finished their study overseas, and now they're currently working on their professional job as the postdoc, and one of them is working as a lecturer in one of the public university in Indonesia. And for those of you that missed the talk, the recording of the first session was already uploaded on Professor Usman's YouTube channel, Usman Bagian II, and you can watch the video there. And for today, we invited two speakers, and different with the first part, today's speakers are currently doing their study abroad. One of them even started his study overseas this year. We will learn about their current experience, their ups and downs, and this interview will be led by Professor Usman Sumofran Tambunan. Before we begin, the rule is still same. All the participants are expected to have their microphone on mute, and you can also join the interview session by giving your questions to the speakers through the chat box or say directly when the moderator allows you to do so. Okay, so before I give the session to Professor Usman as the moderator, I will introduce the speakers to you. And he is studied on the Department of Chemistry in the State University of Makassar for his bachelor study. And then after that, he went to Universitas Indonesia in our Department of Chemistry to have their master degree focused on the polymer chemistry research. And just this year, he started his PhD in the University of Birmingham, United Kingdom, in the study program of chemistry focused on degradable biomaterials and sustainable polymers research. And also listed here several of his organization's experiences details. And you can see several of his achievements here. You can see that from his undergraduate program, he is the awardee of PPL scholarships. And also for his master and doctoral program, he is the awardee of LPDP scholarship. And listed here also his training and worship experiences details, his research experiences, he is also experienced at teaching before his PhD study, and you can see several of his publications here. And then for the second speaker, we have Mr. Sandiego Himawan here. He's currently residing in Saarbrücken, Germany, and he is studying in Saarland University, Germany for Masters in Medical Biotechnology, and previously he already attained his Bachelor in Biomedical Engineering from Swiss German University and Westphalia University of Applied Sciences in double degree, I think. And listed here is several of his organizational background. You can see that he is a member of several associations internationally. And then for the work experience, you can see here from his curriculum vitae that besides studying, he is also working as a graduate research assistant in the Korea Institute of Science and Technology Europe. And before that, he also have several working experience in the Saarland University, and also in Swiss German University and the Eichmann Institute for Molecular Biology. And then listed here is also his publication. He is currently published on scientific reports. Wow. Okay, and also listed here is his achievements, several achievements as a presenter in a conference maybe. Okay, so before we start the interview session, I will give some time to Mr. Lukman and Mr. Sandy to introduce themselves to you. Maybe we'll start with Mr. Lukman first.
Thank you very much, Philia, for the chance to given to me. Good morning, everyone from United Kingdom, and good afternoon from Indonesia. How are you today? So I hope that you are doing well. My name is Lukman Hakim. So my friends call me Lukman or Luke sometimes in my hometown. And for my undergraduate program, I studied at Universitas Negeri Makassar. So which is focus on educational, which I took chemistry educations, and then I continue my study at Universitas Indonesia, which I took also polymer chemistry. And then my PhD now, pursuing my PhD at University of Birmingham by research, which is the full-time research, which is focused on polymer chemistry. And to be honest, this is also my first time to study abroad. So maybe I can share more about my first experience to go abroad for studying, even though that I have ever visited some countries, maybe in abroad to overseas, but it's not for study, but just for maybe like conference and so on. So I think it's enough. Thank you so much. And oh yeah, for the additional information, I also the awardee of LPDP scholarship. So for my master and my doctoral program. Yeah, maybe one of you interested to apply for LPDP scholarship, which is now is opening. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lukman, for the introduction. And now for the second speaker, Mr. Sandi, please.
Hello, everyone. Good morning and good afternoon. My name is Sandi, and I am a master's student here in Saarland University. I'm in my final semesters, and currently I'm working on my master's thesis on estrogen receptor related experiment, and then I also want to apply for a PhD program in Germany as well, and seeking other opportunities to perhaps another biopharmaceutical company in Germany, such as Bayer or maybe BioNTech, one of the vaccine manufacturers in Germany. And yeah, I hope we can learn together in here, sharing what I experienced so far as a master's student in Germany. And I hope the information that we gave or that we shared to you, it can be valuable for your career future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sandi, for the introduction. Okay, so you have already know that we have such a great speaker, and I will give this time to Professor Usman for the interview session.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Filia. Thank you to our participant and to our special guest for this afternoon and this morning, probably in UK and in German. Now I will share my question first to Mr. Sandiego. How do you further your study abroad in terms of a language barrier, cultural barrier, especially mentality?
Okay, thank you. So first of all, for language barrier, I think it's one of the hardest challenges if you want to study abroad, especially if you don't have any experience at all. So my experience with the language is I have to talk with local people here so that I can improve my language, especially for my German skills. So there are many opportunities to increase our languages in the university. They offer so many courses that related to the language course. But the important thing is you have to talk more to local people, especially if you want to sharpen your language skills. It doesn't matter actually if you just like meet some strangers in the streets, like You just maybe talk with them, and then just it can be helpful actually for your language skills. As for the cultural barrier, I find it also challenging for the first time I'm studying in here, since we are Asians people, and then we have to accustom to be more adept in the European culture. So that's why I think it's a little bit challenging. For example, German people tend to speak straightforward rather than like we are Asians. So that's why I think if you want to communicate with them, you have to straightforward as well. So you have to be more like point A, point B, and point C, and that's it. That's already German people. As for the mentality, yeah, I think you have to be more brave to be more to speak up more to other local people or to the others. You don't have to be shy. It doesn't matter your grammar is wrong, or maybe you don't have a good construction for your sentence. It doesn't matter. Just speak up. Thank you.
Okay, I see. How about you, Mr. Roma?
Okay, yeah. Firstly, I would say for the language barrier, maybe this is also the most challenging that I think, specifically for the people who want to, or students who want to pursue their degree at UK, which is, we know that the accent is a bit difficult rather than in American accent. So I would say that sometimes that I have to always try to practice my listening skills, especially for the British accent, which is it's when I first time come here, it's really hard to understand. So it's a bit different with the in IELTS test sometimes. So for the preparation, I guess the most important thing that you have to always try to train your skill, your listening skill and reading skill, and writing skill as well, and many things that you can do, maybe by watching TV or by listening to music or watching the news or something like BBC or and so on. So the preparation would be better if you make English as your habit. The speaking is your habit. Okay, and the second one, it's about the culture barrier, that maybe I would say that the culture would be also the one of the most challenging, because we know that British has a bit different cultures rather than Indonesians, because in British always like what Sandiego says, that is straightforward, and it's not too like in Indonesia. We know that there's basa-basi, right? It's not. So we just what is our goals, what's our purpose, and then we can discuss it without many introductions, like what we do, like that. And then and also for the punctuality in time. So they are really on time. So even though that you are late in 1 minute, it's also they could say that you are late even though it's 1 minute. So I always prepare to be on time, maybe 5 minutes before the Zoom meeting is opening. So I try to stand by on my computer. So yeah, it's also one of the cultural barrier. And then the mentality, the last one, the mentality, I would say mentality, it's really important, because sometimes that we are really insecure about our knowledge, our skills, even though that we sometimes that we feel not really great in a certain concentration or the certain major, but here we have to try with the double effort. So we didn't have to be always just we have to be always try to work hard and try to prepare ourselves for being better and better. So we have to be always try to focus on what we are going to do. Yeah, I think that's all.
Okay, I see. Okay. Could you please share with us how you search for and choose the campus? What are the considerations?
Me, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Firstly, I would for the campus, there are some considerations that could be taken into it. The first one is for the core programs, especially, we need to try to find out the correct or the suitable professor or supervisor, because it's really determine our next goal or our career, specifically for our study here. So we have to try to find out the best the suitable professor, and then when we found out, we have to try to look for the good campus. I would recommend maybe the top 100 would be better, I guess. Yeah, if, so
Top 100 in the world, right?
Yeah, in the world, because University of Birmingham is one of the top university in UK and in the world, and it's the top 100. And then for the other consideration, I would say that maybe from the publication of the supervisors that we are intended to join. So I try to find out the background of my supervisor, and then the publications which is published, that when you are when we are feel comfortable with our with the research that published by the professor or the supervisor. So I think it's the best way to find out the supervisor, because it's a bit hard to make them interesting to us. So we just try to find out many supervisors in different campus, and try to match your background with their background. So when it's a matching, so you can try to email them.
Okay.
Okay.
How about you, Mr. Himawan? You have a different experience probably.
Yeah,
can you share with us?
For my consideration to choose campus in Germany, actually, first of all, I think would be the tuition fees, because there are public university in Germany that we have to pay the tuition fees, and there's other universities that you don't have to pay for the tuition fees. So you just have to pay for this semester ticket, we call. It covers the transportation cost, and then the student administration cost, and that's it. So you have to pay attention to that first, maybe for the tuition fees. In case you have to, in case you have already applied in a scholarship in Indonesia, it doesn't matter, I think. But in case you have to pay by yourself, that's, I think, a little bit problematic. And the second one, I think the course language, because in my university, we conduct the course 50% in German and 50% in English. So that's why I think it's challenging. I think when you when you pursue your master's degree in one of those universities that require both of Germans and English skills. And also the other consideration, I think, would be my research focus, because I want to focus myself previously in medical biotechnology and especially in genetic engineering. So that's why I chose Saarland University, which has a good track record for the research focus in genetic engineering as well, in bioprocess engineering as well. And I think the first time I chose or searched the universities in the Google, I came to one of the website called mastersportal.com. So I just like searched in there, and then I typed what for example, like medical biotech master's program, and then they just gave us some results, and then we can choose based on their database, and then we have to we can see is that the tuition fees, we have to pay the tuition fees or not. So that's the important thing. And the second, the language, and then the third, maybe what's the research focus and currently they are working on in the research group. I think, yeah, that's it for my considerations when I choose master's university to pursue my master's degree in here.
Okay, thank you so much. Seems to me that both of you are so happy live outside of this Indonesia, yeah, from your space. I don't think I made mistake, right? Do you enjoy living in UK, Mr. Lukman?
Yeah. Yes, Prof. Sure.
You don't go back. You no one go to back home.
I will go back on maybe next year for Ramadan. For the next Ramadan, maybe I will go back for maybe 1 month. Yeah. After that, I come back here.
Same like Himawan. Yeah, yeah. You are so happy to live in Jerman, right?
Yeah, I enjoy living here. Actually,
You enjoy living in Jerman, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I have other question. Yeah, since you have benefit from the external funding, do you mind sharing with what process you have been through to get one, especially to Mr. Lukman? Have you ever felt in competing for the external funding? How long did the whole process take you? Because from the beginning, you enter a master degree in Department of Chemistry, University of Indonesia, right?
Yes.
Sometimes we what in other and ask you something about your experience and what should you do for the next time. Can you share with us your experience about getting this one?
Firstly, I would like to share about what is scholarship. Scholarship is divided into two, like partial funded and fully funded. For the fully funded, LPDP scholarship is the one of the fully funded scholarship, which can cover all the expenses that you need to that you require. Then first time I applied for the scholarship, I got scholarship when I was in undergraduate program, but it's just a partial scholarship. Yeah, it's a PPA scholarship, so we just partial scholarship. And then I continue my study at Universitas Indonesia by LPDP scholarship as well in 2016, and I have to. I have an experience in how to get that scholarship. It's quite hard because I need to meet all the requirements. Like as we know that LPDP scholarship has a lot of requirements for administration, and then continue with the interview and so on. And then for now, I'm also getting the LPDP scholarship for my doctoral program, which is I have to do some process. So I have to join there are three processes currently. The first one is administration phase, and then second one is this core selection, and the last one is the the second one is like the computer-based test, and the third one is core selection, which consists of two interview, nationality interview, and the second one is the academic interview. So yeah, it's a long journey how to get the scholarship. Even though that I also have failed some scholarship, to be honest, I apply for several scholarship, but yeah, sometimes that I felt in the last selection, like when I apply for ISDB, and when I apply for the scholarship in Spain and in Saudi Arabia, and many things, scholarship that I apply for. But yeah, and a few scholarship I failed in the last selection. So for it's not easy like what we think. So we have to try this. So I suggest the viewers to try every opportunity that you got. So you have to try it. So don't never give up. Just try it.
How about you, Mr. Himawan?
Yeah,
Can you share with us?
I think I'm not using this external funding such as scholarship actually, because my parents gave yeah, my parents gave me my for a tuition to cover my a year for a living expense here. So back in 2019, I suppose they give me like 8,000 euro to. It's actually for a visa requirement as well. And then after that, after 1 year, I didn't receive any internal funding from my parents anymore. So I have to find a part-time job in here. And then I fortunately there's this job announcements in campus as a research assistant. So I took my chance, and then yeah, I got the job, alhamdulillah. And then I also got a 2 years contract from them. So I think from the financial situation, I think it's already covered for at least 2 years for my study in here. And then after that, I have to find another job or maybe another opportunities in a company, or maybe to pursue again my PhD degree. So yeah, for my side, it's internal funding, but there is a lot of opportunity if you want to apply scholarship as well in the Saarland University. They have this internal or what is that, the university scholarship, we call like a high reachable scholarship, I suppose. So they will cover your tuition fees every semesters, and then you will get these monthly expenses like 500 or 600 euros per month, and then you don't have to find another job, just focus on your study. It's better like that. But in case you don't have a chance to apply for a scholarship, yeah, you have to find a job like a student job. And there's many students in here in Germany, while they pursue their degree in bachelor, they also working as well as a part-time student. Yeah.
You like German, right?
Yep.
Daily life and study in German. Can you share with us why? No,
yeah, because Germany, first of all, is they have this advanced technology, especially in research and biomedical research. And then they have this many biomedical research institutes such as Fraunhofer Institute, or maybe Max Planck Institute or Max Planck Gesellschaft. They specialize in many different areas. And then my background is as well in medicine, as well in biomedical research. So that's why I think Germany it's a good choice for me. And then and I also like the living environment, I suppose, because they gave us opportunity in a diverse culture background, such as from Egypt, for example, or from a South Korean, or from the Germany itself, or from the other European countries. So they give us many opportunities to expand our experience, especially in the research. Yeah.
Okay, I see, Mr. Lukman. How does your social life differ from before you went there? How easy it was to socialize and to communicate with colleagues, lecturer, and even professor?
Okay.
Okay,
sure. For the social life, yeah, because I haven't met in person with my supervisor. I just met with via Zoom and with my lab mate as well. So for the social interactions that maybe I think maybe just about our preparation in doing what we want to convey or what we want to deliver. Like for example, when I have to do like presentation, literature review, and yeah, and so on. So I have to know more about the template and so on. So sometimes that I ask my friend about how to do that, and they explain to me. So it's so by that approach, I think it's one of the best approach also to find to socialize with them. So to discuss about our scientific meeting or our study specifically for our research, because I also intensively met with my friend with same focus project. So we discussed more about what is their goals, what's their planning for the polymer chemistry, specifically for the degradable materials and sustainable polymers. So I asked them about what is their concern about that and what's the challenging. So this is how do I socialize with them.
How long have you been there?
I arrived here on 11th of March, but my start date is 4th of April. So I come here earlier.
So you did it already, right?
Yes.
Presentation on site.
Yeah, just literature review and some like monthly report, but we're going to start at work for working at lab next Monday.
Can you tell me what's really a bottleneck of studying there?
My focus
you don't
project?
Have any,
it's about the polycaton, but maybe I would say that degradable materials and sustainable polymers, which is we are going to focus on how to synthesize polycaton from the biomass. And then we try to synthesize also the monomer for the monomer and the polymer, but we are focused on biomass research for the materials. And then we try to find out the best the best way how to synthesize it, and then to get the biopolymer, which can apply for some applications, such as for the biomedical application and also for bioplastic, for example. So for now we just focus on how to synthesize the polycaton from the biomass.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Himawan. Yeah, I have an experience by seeing your face. You are so happy. Yeah. What's really your passion after getting started here?
That's I thought several ways, I think. So one way, I think I want to pursue again my degree for my doctoral degree in here. I want to specialize in molecular medicine. Another way, I think I want to apply as well in the biotech company or biopharmaceutical company. So that's why I thought I will think about it again. Maybe, I don't know. That's why I want to find again my passion first, because biotechnology study program is very broad study program. You want to focus either in the environmental biotechnology or medical biotechnology, or perhaps in agriculture biotechnology. In the moment, I just focus myself in the medical biotechnology, and we are currently facing the pandemic situation as well around the world. So that's why I think the opportunity, the prospect in the company or in the research institute it's open to the vast open in the medical biotechnology. So that's why maybe I want to focus myself in that area. Yeah.
Okay, I see. How does studying in Germany different from Indonesia?
So in Germany, I would say they facilitate us with the advanced technology, advanced facility, and with the international exposure, for example, and from another countries like Russians, South Korean, and etc. And we can to um, explore more about the research world in here. So I think that's what makes difference when you study in Germany rather than in Indonesia, because we can know more about the scientific world out there, and then the opportunity, and then we learn science, not just about science. I mean, like we can learn science, and then we can as well learn about the business prospect in the how to commercialize the product itself.
Okay,
So
yeah,
I think it's more challenging and also interesting if you want to explore in that
okay.
kind of area.
How about you, Mr. Anumang?
Okay, maybe I have a same opinion with Sandiego. It's about the facility which is provided by the university. Yeah, it's a completely different. Maybe it's sometimes that there are some instruments that we need. It's available here, and then we just for example, when we want to order like the chemicals, it's really fast to come. Yeah, and then it's really. So I would say that it's what we need. It's on stock, and maybe just a few chemicals that we need, that we just order it by system, and then in a few days it's going to be come. So I think the most important the difference would be about the facility, and the second one, it's about the publication here, which is like we know that the research in UK specifically for this university, which is focus on how to publish, how to give the novelty in the research. And yeah, it's really interesting here because I learned many things, such as that I didn't get when I was in Indonesia. So I experienced many scientific approach, such as for the for example, I learned here like click chemistry, how to combine biomolecules with the polymers, the synthetic polymers, how to combine it to produce the better polymers with the very high molecular weight. So this is, or I think it's something really good, and it has a high novelty, to be honest, because I searched in several publication. It's a bit rarer compared to several previous publications.
Okay, let me see. Do you think the education you got in Indonesia was enough to equip you for studying abroad, especially for Lukman?
Maybe I would say not really, because it just depends on us. Sometimes that even though that we didn't get that knowledge, or that like, let's say, the reference that we need to prepare for, all the things that we need to prepare for our let's say the PhD program, and then sometimes that we have to open-minded, so we have to be learned by ourselves. We didn't have to depend on what we got from our campus, from our lecturer, because all the things that we've got from our lecturers, sometimes that we need to explore more about it, because in our next program, so we will face some challenges, such as maybe which is the scope is wider than what we expected when we are in Indonesia. So I think if you ask me, is it enough? So I would say it depends on that person. Sometimes that maybe I would say a person say that it's not enough, but another person say it's enough. So it depends how they explore the science that they get. So we didn't have to rely on what the knowledge that delivered by our lecturer in the previous program, but we have to explore more about it, because we didn't have to only focus on what we are getting in our campus, but we can explore more in outside the campus, such as with our friends, and to discuss about like research that which is happening now, so we can explore more about it. So I think it's the best way to prepare everything.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Himawan. Can you compete well with other nationality compared studying in German?
I can say, yeah, because as an Indonesian, we have these capabilities, I think, to compete with other nations. For example, if you compare the quality of our knowledge in the same area, I think I can say we can compete, and then we can prove up to ourselves and to the others as well. We can collaborate as well with them, and then I think one challenge is as an Indonesian, I think once again, I think it's a language, because not every Indonesian can express themselves straightforward. For example, if I say previously, if you want to express your idea to German people, sometimes they just like, okay, what is the point then? You don't have to like tell us everything. You just have to tell us the point, and that's it. I think that's still be a challenge for us as an Asian, especially if you want to express your own ideas, or for example, or research topic, or maybe in a scientific discussion, and how to express your argument in a good manner. So that's what we should learn about, and also that's what we should train. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Roman. What do you think about that one? Is it the level of our the curriculum or something that related to the one the same? But you told me before that depend on the person. We have a curriculum, right?
Yes.
How do you think about it? Can you share with that?
Sorry, your voice is not so clear here. Can you say it again?
Yeah, you told me before that depend on the person, right?
Yeah.
For me, myself as a lecturer, we have a curriculum, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You should compare that curriculum with a curriculum in UK. How about that one?
Okay.
Is it the same or something like that? Because from now on, we try to seek for, let's say, Royal Society of Chemistry certificate.
Yeah. Okay. For the curriculum, I would say I would like to share about this one, because there's a difference between master and doctoral program. So the curriculum would be different, and also we know that the specifically for the full-time PhD students is going to be focused on the research. Specific.
What do you mean by full-time PhD student?
Yeah.
So there's a part-time PhD student.
Yeah, there's also part-time and full-time students here.
What does it mean, part-time?
Part-time that maybe the duration of the study would be longer than the full-time, and then the full-time would be longer in lab as well. So maybe it's just about the schedule and the curriculum. I would say that what I couldn't explain more about it, because the master program here, so I didn't know much about the curriculum for the master, but I would explain about the curriculum in doctoral program here that that I'm doing now. So for the curriculum, maybe when I have to compare it in Indonesian, I would say that in this curriculum, maybe it's about the novelty, I guess, yeah. But I didn't know much about the curriculum in doctoral program at university in Indonesia, so I couldn't explain more about it. But what I have faced here is about how to produce
Should you take a class
better
in
publication. Yeah.
should you take a class?
No, I didn't have a class here, so I just
Okay, yes, yes.
like sit in class, but it's not compulsory. It's just optional.
Okay.
So there's no lecture here that because I'm doing research, full-time research. So because for
So
some
you call it
program,
a full-time
yeah.
research, right?
Yeah, full-time research. So that's why I couldn't explain more about the curriculum, because I'm not taking the PhD by course.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe yeah, some viewers or some participants here also have background in PhD by course. So yeah, for the research, yeah, there's no course here, so we just like sit in or something.
Okay, I still have question for both of you, but let me give the chance to the participant. Please raise your hand and to whom you wanna ask the question. The participant. Okay, let me see. Muhammad, yes, Muhammad. Okay, please. Yeah, please.
All right. Good afternoon to the all, and thank you for the opportunity, Professor. I'm Muhammad Al-Hakiki, and I would like to ask a three question. Sorry, a lot of questions. First, what about the living costs in both in UK and in Germany, such as the house, the dorm, and etc. And also, is it hard to find halal food in the UK and Germany? The second question is it hard to make friends either with UK or Germany's local people? Because European people has stereotype that they not pretty open compared to Indonesian people. And the last question is especially for Kak Lukman, is there any tips for us for applying LPDP scholarship, which is this scholarship has so complicated requirement and selection? Thank you.
Okay, please, Lukman and Mr. Himawan. Lukman.
Okay, first, for the first question, it's about living cost here. The living cost, I would say that it depends on the city where you want to go. Such as in London, it's really different to Birmingham. London, Cambridge, Birmingham, Liverpool is really different. So I will share about the living cost in London. In London, for the stipend which given by the LPDP scholarship, it's about it is £1,600 for London today and now. And then for the Birmingham, it's £1,100. So for the accommodation, it's also different. So London is really, really expensive, yeah, compared to Birmingham. Birmingham is one of the cheapest cities, I would say that I guess, because in Birmingham you can find a share house, rent house. It's just about £550 to £800 for a rent house. And in London is really different, because in London you can spend about almost almost £1,000 for just for accommodation. yeah, such as my friend maybe spend like, yeah, £900 for accommodation. And also for the accommodation in campus, yeah, it's also different with accommodation in outside the campus. In campus, it's quite expensive, yeah, rather than in outside the campus. In Birmingham, the accommodation outside in around the campus, it's about if I'm not wrong, it's about £500 above for one room. But in this in outside the campus, you can find out the cheaper one. Like for example, I'm
Okay.
here, I rent a house which is only £750, and then I divide it into three. So we are three here. So one person got £250 each person. Yeah. For the halal food, right? Okay. Oh yeah. For the our daily life, maybe yeah, it's also different between among countries, among cities such as in Birmingham. Maybe you can spend only 200 to until £300, but in London maybe you can spend about £600. So it's almost double. Yeah. And then for the halal food here, the halal food, yeah, it's a quite hard to find out here because maybe it's just one spot that you can try to find out the halal food. And so even though that the price, yeah, I would say that it's a more expensive, yeah,
Okay.
rather than the ordinary food. And then for the how to make friends, yeah, here, sometimes that in this that what I am facing now, I would say that even though that I'm still 2 months here, but from my experience in people here is they try to find out how to make the quality time. I mean, it not just about the quantity of in meeting, but the quality in meeting. Even though that you are not really you didn't meet too often, but when you often you have a quality time with them and discuss about everything, so they will consider about the quality rather than quantity, yeah, in time. And the last question is about scholarship, right?
Yes.
I would say I would give additional information. So scholarship is not only from government. There are some mechanism in scholarship. Let's say PhD by vacancy. PhD by vacancy, so the professor has a project and they will hire the PhD students or master students to do the project. This is one of the mechanism that you could try to explore. And then the second one, there's also scholarship by government. The government like chevening, AAS, and LPDP, and so on. Student and many other scholarship from government. And the next one, there's also scholarship from academic institution, from campus. Campus will provide some scholarship for certain students which just meet the requirements. And also there is a scholarship from how to say research institution. For example, in France, there is when I apply for scholarship in France for from the research institution, they provide quota for that. So I apply for that scholarship, even though that is really competitive, because like we know that every scholarship has their quota. So it's
Okay.
but I would suggest you to find out every way that you can try So just try, even though that you are not successful in one shot, but you can try to find out another mechanism for getting the scholarship. So I try many mechanisms. It's not only one. I'm not only apply for LPDP, but I apply for many scholarship. But sometimes that I fail in the last selection. But yeah, my destiny in scholarship, in LPDP scholarship. I got LPDP scholarship. So thanks God for that. So I would say that we don't know where we are. So we have to try to find out many ways to get that scholarship that can cover all expenses.
Okay, thank you. How about you, Mr. Himawan? Can you share your thing about the daily life?
For the living expenses, I think 800 euros per month, I think it's already enough, I think, to cover apartment cost, and then the insurance, and then the your monthly food, for example. And then through my part-time job in here as a research assistant, it already covers anything from the apartment costs to maybe like the internet costs, and then also you can also send some monies to your parents as well. So I think it's already enough, 800 euros. But actually, it depends as well to the cities, as Mr. Lukman says before. So you have to pay attention as well to what city you want to pursue your study. For example, if you compare between living costs or living expenses in Saarbrücken and also in Berlin or maybe in München, yeah, it's different, I think, because Saarbrücken is not so big city. And then if you compare to München, which is a very which is a metropolitan city, so it's more expensive in München rather than in Saarbrücken. In Berlin, it's also metropolitan, but since it's the capital city and there's many Indonesian people in there, I think the living expenses is not so high, but it's not so cheap as well. So it's like somewhere in the middle. So you have to find a good balances if you want to study in a city, for example, like that. So for how to make friends in here, actually, before Corona, I think it's actually German people is kind of friendly, I think. Because yeah, I think they just like being open-minded if you to the foreign people, and then at least we have to open ourselves and to speak up more to them. So they want to explore as well to us as a foreign colleagues of them, and then we have to what is that, the proactive, what we want to say, what we want to discuss with them. And especially if you have this several practical course around in the campus, it will be helpful if you just talk with them, especially to communicate in the lab and about the project itself. So you have to maybe the one who started to speak up with them, and then from there you just like continue to engage with them more, and then they will show you around the city, and then show you to their friends, German friends, and I think it's basically they are friendly. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. We have Depi. Okay, Depi, please. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Usman. I want to ask some questions to Mr. Himawan because yeah, I'm so interested with Germany. Yeah, I want to ask about the Germany system. From what I know, Germany has free tuition fee for many public universities, right? But a few days ago, I heard an information from my friends that Germany has an frei numerous clauses free system, which is our grade just play a small role in our admission processes, but the system just limited to only 25 students for each class. And if we apply to the university with numerous classes system, the university will cost us up to €800. Yeah, I want to ask you, is the information is correct? And the second question is, if our CGPA is only in the range of 80%, can it still be in the potential range to apply in Germany university? And the last question, do we need to speak, is the material in classes in German, also in Dutch, whether we only take the English program? Thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
please, Mr. Himawan.
Yeah, thank you for your questions. First of all, for the NC clauses, I think it depends on the university that you want to apply or to apply for your master's or for your PhD program. But for your, I think for the tuition fees, I think the university that you have to pay for the tuition fees, I think it's in the Bavaria, Bavaria regions, or maybe the regions that have like a Technical University of München, TUM, so, or maybe Heidelberg University. I think those university you have to pay for the tuition fees, because I think there's this new regulation for the foreigner. If you want to pursue your degree in there, you have to pay for the tuition fees. But there's some also study programs that offers, like in my university, you don't have to pay the tuition fees, and you just have to pay the semester ticket. So you can see directly in the official website. So in the moment I cannot tell you whether the information is true or not, but I can tell you that you can see by yourself in the official website of the university that you want to apply. And there's the complete or detailed information in there, from the tuition fees, and then from the language courses or the teaching language. You can see by yourself in there. And for the numerous clauses, I think, especially for the study programs that high demanding, they just applied some limit number, for example, like you said, 25 students per year or per semester. So once again, you have to see by yourself in the official website of the university. As for the teaching language, in my case, in my university, I have to attend 50% in German lectures base, and then 50% as well in the English base lecture. So in the beginning, they already said the lectures will conducted in English, both in English and in German. But if you want to write an exam, you can just write in English. You don't have to write in German.
Okay.
But for the slide itself, the presentation slide itself, they often provide us in German. So you have to accustom yourself to understand German a little bit. But there are some universities in Germany that offer 100% in English. So it depends actually again to the university that you want to apply. So you have to see to the official website. And what is again then the question, I think, about the
CGPA.
Yeah, for the GPA, I think you can still apply, and then what's matter, I think it's your motivation letter and then your reference letter. I think that's all matter. For the GPA, I think you can still apply, because there's some colleagues of mine that their GPA is not so high, but it's not so bad as well, and then they can still apply, and then they get the position. So I think it's still you have still got a chance to apply.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Himawan.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, now let's give this time to Mr. Taruna. Taruna, yeah.
Thank you for your Hi, I'm Taruna, and I want to ask some question. Firstly, I would like to thank both of Mr. Himawan and Mr. Lukman for an inspiring sharing. My question are, first, what is your step in terms of discovering your research topic? And then, what is your tips on how to motivate yourself to broadening your knowledge every day? Because sometimes I find myself lack of motivation or feeling lazy to learn. And then lastly, how do you organize your research note when after your first discover your topic? Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Himawan.
Okay, thank you for your questions. So for the first questions, what is your step in terms of discovering in my research topic? I think I have to be more open to the current research in the world. For example, you can just Google it or search in the updated research news in like a Nature journal, for example. There's so many publications that you can read in there. So you have to be more open in there. So the second, I think you have to find your passion again. What research field that you want to focus on? For example, in the medical biotechnology, there is so many subfields. For example, like genetic engineering, or maybe bioprocess engineering, or maybe analytical instrument. So you have to see your potentials in what subfield or you want to focus on. From there, you can construct your own ideas and also from your vast knowledge that you already grasp from the scientific journal, you can build your own research topic. As also you can consult with your own lecturers because they already have broad experience in the research area. You can consult with them what you already construct, and then they can give you some suggestions to improve your scientific idea. And how to motivate in the research area, I think because research is about passions, right? Because you want to discover something from nothing. So you have to find what is your purpose, what is your objective to do this research. So you have to be more like see it or perceive it like a fun thing, or make it like a entertaining thing. For example, in my case, I just because I like to play video games, and then also I like to watch movies. Sometimes I link between video games and also movies to my research area, and then what is this relationship between them, and then I can make this just kind of fun. So I make science. It's not like science is about a serious thing, but you can have fun from them as well. So I think that's one of the way, if you want to motivate yourself, try to find your thing that you maybe for your hobby, and then just link in together with your research topic. That's the idea. And how to organize my research topic, my research note. For example, if I have some certain ideas that comes into my mind in that day, and then I just write directly into my research notes. So first, write directly, and then the second one, maybe you can expand your ideas, maybe making some like I don't know, like a brainstorming map, and then from there you can just link from one ideas to the other, and then you can grasp the concept and to understand better your research topic. So I think just make the background, the research background, the ideas behind it, and also make the brainstorming ideas, and then you have to set a schedule, like a timeline. For example, this month I should do this work or this experiment, or maybe like literature study, and next month I have to begin my experiment in the lab. for example, experiment A, experiment B, and that's it. And for the next one, I have to write my own thesis or my own publication for my publication. So that's, I think, it's general idea. Just directly write, and then you have to write as well for this date, the date as well. I think it's important because sometimes we just lost when is this idea I have. So I don't know, maybe like 2 days or 3 days ago, just stamp the date. It's important as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Himawan. Mr. Roman, short
Okay,
answer because it's a question time. Yeah.
Okay, for the first question, it's about the step in terms of this covering the research topic. Okay, let me explain first. In the experiment, or specifically for the full-time research, we have two ways, the project, which is determined by our supervisor, or the topic research, which is we are proposing. So so if you are interested to a project, you can apply to your supervisor through the system, and then they will provide the project, and you can explore that project, which is it is, I think it's it's quite easier rather than you have to like making a proposal and then you try to propose it to your supervisor. So I will explain both things. So the first one is about the project. When the project given by your supervisor, that you have to plan and you have to explore about the novelty of that project. So sometimes that your professor will give you the overview of the project, but you have to explore more detail about it. So for example, your professor asks you to synthesize biomaterials, and then you have to try to find out the parameter that could be applied for the material, so you can find out, and then you have to try out to what to do for making that project become interesting, so you can explore more. Sometimes maybe in the first stage that your supervisor will help you more, but maybe in the next 7 months later, that you have to you probably know more about it rather than your supervisor. So your supervisor maybe just suggest you, give your advice based on the data that you obtained from your previous research and from your previous experiment. And then for the idea that you propose to your professor by direct by email them and give the proposal, such as you try to find out what is the good or the nice topic that I could explain in the proposal. So what I would say that the important thing that you have to know the novelty or the current research that's happening. Like you can search like the journal, the publication related to your concern. For example, you are concerned on how to synthesize, for example, how to synthesize the acetylene biomaterials, such as, let's say, you want to synthesize the polyamide, for example, and then you have to try to find out what is the latest discovery from that research, and then you find out. You have to try to read a lot of researchers related to that research, and then you try to find out what is what something that you could give for making it different compared to the previous researches that you have found out. And the second one, it's about the motivation to learn. For the motivation, I would say that family is my biggest motivations in terms of for learning, and also my when I feel like when I was exhausted. So I called them so to make me strong and to make me try to focus on my goals. So I think the family is the one of my biggest support systems. And also I would say that how to like what Himawan said, that how to entertain, how to find out the best way to learn. Sometimes that people will feel comfortable in terms of learning some literature using like watching just via YouTube, or for example just via just reading. Sometimes they love to learn from the other researchers' explanation, maybe from YouTube. So there are some ways that you can try to find out which one would be the best for you. So it depends on the people who would like to discover what they loved, the best way to learn. And the last one is about how to organize the research note. There are two ways. The first thing that I would say is I have the personal research note, and I have also lab note. The lab note is provided by the laboratory, but the personal research note is my private note, which is I try to describe my idea or the timeline of my research in directly to my notebook, and I try to. But I love to learn. I have to describe it in the flowchart or something like that, and to how to make it easy to understand. So I make like the flowchart, and then I try to find out which one would be the best for me to do, and I try to find out the literature that can support my idea, and try to find out the best way that I could apply for my next planning for the research. So I would say that for the lab note, it's provided by the laboratory management. So I just try to write down what I'm going to do and what I have done. So it's going to be my history or my notes for my next planning, and for evaluate what I have done.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank
This
you.
is the last question.
Thank you, Mr. Himawan and Mr. Lukman.
What is your message for all the participants that wish to study abroad, Mr. Himawan?
Yeah, my message to all of you, I think, first of all, if you want to study abroad, first, it is important to prepare the language, because if you want to study in the foreign country, especially not 100% English speaking country, I think you have to be learn more about that language. It doesn't matter if you want to study in Germany or in South Korea or anywhere in the world. I think you have to learn English as well, and as well the language of that country. And the second one, I think you have to be aware for maybe for the syllabus or the curriculum of your, for example, in a master's in Germany, they have this syllabus or curriculum that they post in the official website of the university. You can see by yourself, so you can know what kind of lectures do you have to take, the obligatory lectures. And so you can know as well, maybe I don't like to take this kind of lecture, maybe I like to take this lecture. So you can take that into your consideration while you choose your university. And the third, I think, if you want to apply, I think, especially for scholarship, I think first you have to find your uniqueness, because I think it's important for every applicants, because if you don't know your own uniqueness, how they can like consider your application. So you have to find your uniqueness, and then you can like sell yourself better, and maybe to brand yourself in scientific international people. So you have to brand yourself that high, maybe, or maybe you have to sell it better yourself, so others can know what is your goal to study abroad, what is your motivation. So I think it's important to consider those things before you decide to study abroad. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Lukman.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe just my suggestions based on my experience. I would say that the first thing that you have to think before you going to abroad, overseas for studying, for let's say that you want to pursue your master degree or your doctoral degree. So you have to know which country that you are interested in. So commonly, we use English. Some university has English as the main language for delivering their lectures. So English is the most important thing that you have to conquer. So for example, like you have to prepare your IELTS, your TOEFL, or let's say your TOEFL IBT or TOEIC, for example. Maybe in South Korea, you can use like TOEIC or TOEFL, IBT or IELTS, and maybe in US, UK, Aussie, or America, you can use IELTS also, or TOEFL IBT or PTE, and many other English proficiency tests that you can prepare from now. And then the second one that you have to prepare is your goals. For example, that you would like to focus on the research. So you have to try to find out the best motivation letter that you need to submit, your proposal research that you have to submit if you are interested in research. And but for the by course that you need to try out to find out the curriculum in the official website, that you find out which one would be the best for you, and then you try to apply for that. But before that, you have to prepare all the requirements before applying for that university. So for example, I will give the specific case here. For example, that you would like to apply for LPDP scholarship. So LPDP scholarship, it depends on the mechanism they would like to apply. For example, in regular mechanism, that you have to own a letter of acceptance before you apply for LPDP scholarship. But it's different if you apply for affirmation mechanism. It's different. So affirmation, you get it's not compulsory. So you can submit your letter of acceptance after you got the scholarship. So you have to read all the things related to the requirements and what is they need, what the scholarship requires. So you have to explore more about it, and don't be lazy to read. So my suggestion, don't be lazy to read the requirements on the either campus requirement or scholarship requirements. Prepare everything and then try to find out the best scholarship that you are interested in and the best university that you want to pursue your degree. So my last statement that I would say, don't be afraid to try every opportunity that you are facing on. So I mean that when you fail in one shot, you can try to do another shot. So if you fail in one in your first attempt, you can try with your second attempt, because sometimes that we are being successful in our next attempt. So yeah, we don't know what happened next. So just try the best and prepare everything, because just information today, all the mechanisms in LPDP scholarship is now opened, like affirmation, regular, and many other mechanisms for the scholarship if you are interested in.
Okay, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Mr. Lukman and Mr. Himawan. Mr. Pilia, please take the time.
Okay, thank you for such an interesting discussion for Mr. Lukman, Mr. Sandi, Prof. Usman, and all of you that have participated in the question and answer session. And if I were to sum up our discussion, we have learned so many things, how they tackle the language barrier, social and cultural barrier in their new place, and maybe some note on the foreign language if you are struggling to talk in English with your sentence structure, or else like your grammar, maybe just talk, don't be afraid. I think that part needs to be underlined since most of Indonesian students are often feel inferior when it comes to English speaking. And also we learned about their consideration on choosing the university, what are the most beneficial things on choosing the campus, how they fund their study, their passion, the living cost, and how they maintain their academic performance while adapting to the new condition. And we have also learned about what is the differences on studying in Europe or UK compared to Indonesia. And I hope this session can inspire you to go study abroad. And for the follow-up, maybe you can try to apply for some scholarships. For example, you can try for the LPDP, and also maybe you can try for Monbuka Gakusho, or for those of you who want to go to Japan, or DAD for Germany. It is now currently open for registration. And to all the participants, before we close the sharing session, I would like to inform you that this event's recording can also be found on Professor Usman's YouTube channel, Usman Bajanatun, as well as for the first part. You can easily go there, and don't forget to subscribe and give your like to the videos. And once again, I would like to give my deepest gratitude for our speakers for today, for Mr. Lukman, Mr. Sandi. Thank you very much for your time. And let's give a virtual applause for our speakers all the way from the UK and Germany. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you,
And
Mama. Thank
for
you.
you, yeah. And for you all the participants, thank you for your time, even in the middle of fasting and weekend, and also the pandemic that is currently going on. And as the final announcement, we will have another event in the future with different topics and also another great speakers. And so please stay tuned for the next announcement. So this is the end of our sharing session. Once again, thank you for coming, and I wish you a good afternoon and have a great weekend.
Bye-bye. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Take care.
Thank
yeah,
you.
Himawan. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Philia.
Lukman, Sandi.
Thank you, Prof.
Yeah.